What up, YouTube? Asian Persuasion here. I'm here at Locals with my boy Eric, who got 3rd place playing what deck?
Virtual World.
Oh yes, you're my first Virtual World deck profile.
My first time playing in real life.
Yeah. How'd you like the deck?
I liked it. It did pretty much what I was expecting. It's a lot harder to keep track of. I'm used to playing on the simulators. It's a lot harder to keep track of all the levels and stuff in person. So it's a lot of brain freezing and feeling I'm taking too long, but it worked out eventually.
But the deck is broken, right? VFD is a god card.
I didn't get into VFD. Everyone was imperming my Cloud Castle or my Croconaw.
But the deck is so resilient that the trap card's nice too.
I figured out Cyber Dragon was the only thing that was able to like take me over.
So that like wrecked your boards.
That screwed me up for sure.
Alright man, let's go ahead and get to the profile.
Okay. We got 3 of the Virtual World Lulu. It's the Searcher. All of these like Foolish Burial, and then they have a certain other effect depending on what type you sent and everything. So this just, you target the spell, send the trap, you get to get a monster.
But it always has to be like the opposite. So if you target like a monster,
you target one, you send the second, and you bring to your hand the third. Whichever order you do it in. If it's a monster, then spell, bring trap. Spell, then monster.
Dang, I can see how that get confusing at first.
It can get confusing. You have to. You run pretty much 3 of everything except for one of them.
Yeah.
And you have to remember. You have to realize what's in your banished, what's in your graveyard, and what could be in your deck.
Yeah. This combo deck does not look super simple for me, at least.
It took a lot of playing around with it for me. This is my first time doing any combo. It's always been control stuff for me. Ultrageist, Salamangreat.
Yeah. Invoke Dogmatica.
Invoke Dogmatica. Eldritch.
He bodied Madolches today.
He knocked you off of the 4-peat. He was on a 4-peat streak.
Oh really?
But then he lost because he only got the 3-peat.
I'm glad I was able to get that.
Yeah, you got him.
Run 3 of the Virtual World Lao. This is the one that if I'm siding in and I need to get a lot of side deck cards, I'll take this down to 2. Just because it's a Monster Reborn from the graveyard. I can get to it pretty easily if I get to Lulu. And it's just all the other ones seem like they need the help. This one I'm able to get to pretty easily. So this one and Yan Yan I will cut down to 2. Yan Yan's always at 2, or at least it was in this.
Fair enough. And these guys are tuners so far, right?
These ones, these
are the synchro shogun guys.
The 6 tuner and the 3 tuner. Yeah. Okay. We got. Oh, and so that one you send one of the things to the graveyard, then just special summons. And you can send a monster and then special summon a monster as long as it's not the same name.
Oh, okay, that's cool.
So if you don't have a monster in your graveyard, you're not going to be able to do anything before you send. So.
Okay, fair enough.
Virtual Lily.
Lily, that's Kieran.
It's what?
It's Kieran's like baby brother.
Yeah. They have Virtual World Mai-Hime and then Roshi and blah blah blah. Virtual World Lily. They're all their last names to me.
Yeah, last name's a lot easier. It looks like.
This one's basically just the double foolish. Target the spell, send a monster, and then you can send a trap. You send the first one non-optionally, then the other one you can send it optionally if you want. If you don't have enough resources, you don't have to send the other one.
Gotcha.
So, it's nice because it's a level 6. It's nice to be able to get these 2 guys out, get into those level 12s synchros if you want to.
I like it.
Move these stuff.
Yeah, you're good.
The last monster is Gigi. Gigi is recoup your resources at the end phase. Bring a monster from the graveyard to your hand. Other than him, I believe.
Get free cards for free.
Yeah, and they're all first part of their effect is a Foolish Burial or a Foolish Burial Goods, depending on what you're sending. Yeah. And then they got their various effects after that. And then the only one that doesn't have fancy effects like that is Nyan Nyan.
That sounds about right.
It's the normal summon of the thing. If it's in the graveyard and you special or normal summon a level 3 monster, whether it's by this effect or emergency teleport or anything like that, you can special summon this onto the field as a tuner. And then when it leaves the field, it's banished.
Okay.
And then whenever it's banished, you can target a card in your banish pile, return it to the deck. That includes face down banished from Pot of Desires.
Oh, that's kind of dope.
Gamma and Driver are always available.
We're always having Driver in our deck.
You can always get Driver back somehow. You can pitch it for the spell cost or whatever, get it back out somehow.
That's nice.
So those are the monsters.
Very simple. This deck is actually very linear.
When you think about it, and pretty much everything can be ashed, and then like if I activate this, all of them activate in hand too. So if you've got the spell or the trap out and you activate it in hand, they ash, you can gamma.
That's a
gamma. You can ash. You can like I run Skill Drain in this because everything's activating in hand. I put Mystic Mine in the side. We'll get to that.
We're always winning with free cards.
Exactly. Virtual World Kowloon. Kowloon, I think is how you do it.
Yeah.
Basically, that one, it's all it does is it takes either the spell or the trap directly from the deck. Does not activate it. It places it.
Oh,
so this is the thing you would have to negate. You'd have to negate this activation because this it just puts onto the thing.
And you can't do
so
anything to
yeah,
that.
all of these things you have to attack the first thing because like it gets on the field, then it does, or it sends something, gets on the field, then does another thing. Everything you want to do it the first time it's activated. Ash it, Gamma it, Solemn Judgment, whatever you might have.
You just gotta hope to God you don't have Gamma. God.
Exactly.
That card's pretty good in this deck.
So yeah, that gets those. Run 3 of the continuous spell. You don't really use the on-field effect for this very much. You target one monster, banish a virtual world from your deck or from your graveyard, and you can negate the effects for that turn. Almost never use it. If anything, I end up using it on my own monsters, so I can banish something to have some more resources for Chuchi.
That card's nuts.
Yeah. So
Plus,
takes 2 banished virtual worlds of different names, shuffles them into the deck, and then you get to pop something.
Yeah.
And the great thing I found with this is that while it's face up, you activate its effect, then they have to decide what they want to do before you even have to do cost.
Yeah.
You target the thing before cost would happen, and then if they don't do that, then cost, then destroy. So
cool.
the things are still banished if they destroy this somehow.
Yeah, nice.
This is generally what I will use this to get. And it just, again, all the combinations, it really just depends. Like, if this is on the field, I'll target it with this, and I'll send a monster, and I can bring this to my hand. That way I can get another one of these on field if I need to, or something like that.
This deck works very well with itself. It's crazy.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. Almost everything you want to run 3 of, because you're going to banish it accidentally, or with a desires, stuff like that. You want to make sure it's accessible. Again, Nyan Nyan is really the only one I feel comfortable maining it to. This one I will usually side one of them out.
Gotcha.
Sometimes I may even want to side out another one of these and just run the one. Because everything, banished, graveyard, in deck, in hand, on field, all recursive.
Yeah.
One way or another you can get things back.
Fair enough.
And then the last thing that really goes with it really well is emergency teleport.
That card's not coming back to 2, unfortunately.
I would love it. I got a second coming on the way.
It's too broken.
But yeah, so it just basically gets any of the lower level ones, and if you use it to get one of these out while he's in the graveyard, you get another summon right there.
Yeah.
All that stuff's going to be synchroed away or something like that, so the banishing at the end phase does not matter. Then the hand traps.
Oh god, yes.
3 Ash. And a Gamma package. Pretty basic stuff. Basically, Ash, for the most part at this point, I run it to counter Gamma.
Yeah.
It can also have the thing, because if I'm going against Infernoble or Dragon Link or something like that, ashing them one time is not going to matter.
It's never enough.
I like having it in my hand, because if they try to Gamma any of the other stuff, then I can negate that.
Super punishing.
And then if they have 2 Gammas in their hand, unless they have a second driver, they can't Gamma the Ash to save their original Gamma. So
yeah.
that ends up working out pretty well. I side deck some other hand traps, but these are the main deck.
Those are the best ones. The most simple ones that you could always main deck and everything.
Yeah. So we'll get all these out.
Until you go against Darren and have a Gamma and kill yourself.
Yeah.
That's about only the problem here. Damn you, Darren, for pain, son.
So those are all the actual, aside from emergency teleport, those are all the actual virtual world cards. All the extra stuff, got an Imperial Order and Skill Drain, because Imperial Order, even if the spell is on the field, it's like you wouldn't want to negate your spell. Well, the thing is, all I really care about for this is creating advantage for the trap.
Yeah, the trap.
So if I've got virtual world stuff in the grave, even if this is negated, I banish for cost. So I banish from my graveyard to keep fueling this up, and that's keeping their spells at bay.
Yeah, Chuche is broken.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Similarly, Skill Drain.
That card's broken too.
If I've got pretty much everything activates in hand for the most part, so like Skill Drain does not affect that. And then once I need to get rid of Skill Drain, I can pop it with Chuchi. My Mystic Mine, I can pop it with Chuchi. Any of that type of stuff, I can pop with it. So that works out pretty well for those two.
This destroys my normal summon deck.
Yes. Then, of course, the Harpy's Feather Duster and the Raigeki.
Because of locals, baby.
Fun one-ofs. Because of locals. And one thing I found with this deck, sending so much stuff to the graveyard and banishing, you're thinning the shit out of your deck.
Yeah, you gotta draw.
So you're going to get into these one-ofs a lot more. You're going to be seeing them a lot more. Just thin out, thin out, thin out. Draw next turn. What? I got this one
These
card.
are literally all Egyptian god cards.
Yes, basically.
They're all Egyptian god
Then
cards.
3 Pot of Desires. This is another one. If I need to side in a lot, I'll usually end up taking all these out, or maybe even 1 or 2 of them. Because again, even if I've only got 1, I might only need that if I'm decking myself out so much.
True that.
And then the addition, because of all the XZs and Synchro, all that bullshit.
We got
that's happening
Zodiac
these days.
everywhere in here.
Zodiac's happening. Book of Moon. Book of Moon played against Clayton over here. I Book-a-Mooned 2 different things in 1 turn.
Dang.
And then at the end of the turn, I Choo-Chi'd the face-up thing that was remaining, and then...
Bait negates, and it's broken, I would say.
While we were playing, I had to look up updated text to make sure this wasn't once per turn. Because I was like, I know Andrew used it, but before I try to use it, I want to make sure.
Yeah, definitely not once per turn. That card's broken.
Yeah, it's pretty nice.
All right, so that's 40 in the main?
That is 41 in
41?
the main.
Okay.
I originally had 2 ogres in the main instead of the 3 moons. But then I just found in testing I don't use the ogres enough. Sometimes to synchro or sometimes to e-tally or whatever, but this is going to be just so much more useful.
That's good first and second.
Yeah.
That's nice.
So like and if they, like I played against a Jinzo guy, that's
a god card. 2
traps
negated.
than that.
Not today, bro.
Put Jinzo back face down and we're all set. Extra deck?
Yeah, you can go extra deck.
Alright. First we'll do the virtual world full monsters. Okay. These 3 almost never see play. This one really too. This is the main one.
That's the Macros guy.
Macros on field, 2800 attack. When it's in the graveyard, as long as it's not the same turn it was sent to the graveyard, banish 2 virtual wolves from the graveyard, fuel up your Choo-Choo some more, special summon that on the field. It's a level 9. Get into those rank 9 plays pretty easily.
Yeah, that's like nice.
These ones, I'm still kind of learning all of these ones. I know this one, 2 level 3s, 2400 defense, get it on the field, discard 1 or 2, discard 1 material, target one of your monsters until your opponent's next turn, it can't be destroyed by card effects.
Yeah.
And stuff like
pretty
that.
Good.
All these are very situational. It's got
That's okay, you're in testing phase.
Exactly.
You know, you gotta play all of them to learn it.
Can't be destroyed while you have 2 or more monsters in your graveyard with the same original type and attribute. There's worms and psychics, and they're earth and winds. So if you line all that stuff up, you can do this. Usually, I'll synchro 6 into him and then go into a 9 with him. That's usually what ends up happening with these. These as well. This one I found the most use of because discard detach 2 materials from this card. Target 1 face-up card your opponent controls and 1 card in either graveyard. Banish them.
Oh, it's a fast card.
Ice Dragon's Prison in monster form with 2600 attack.
That's pretty nice.
For 2 level 6 monsters.
Yeah, that card's nice.
This one's probably the most useless of them. But the thing is,
just
though,
options, right?
if they have a monster on the field and they don't, and it's not the same attribute as Ash, Gamma, Nibiru, whatever, your opponent cannot target this card with card effects while it has material. When your opponent activates the effect of a monster with an attribute that is not on their field, while they control a face-up monster, quick effect detached to negate it.
Yeah, that's
so I can negate if they've got something on field, I can negate their Nibirus, negate their Gammas, negate their whatever, as long as they're not running similar attributes.
Oh,
Very situational. These 3 very situational. This one comes up kind of a bit. I want to see this every game if I can.
Yeah, that
I want to get him underneath the calamities, discard him during my opponent's turn, because then when in my turn, I can special summon.
That's fair.
Then the extra kind of stuff. We'll do the synchros first. Coral Dragon. It's a level 6. It's a tuner. You can get into it pretty easy. I haven't until my Beasts of the Pharaoh come in. I'm gonna try to do some crazy stuff with the 2 cloud
You're talking
castles.
about that little goat. That zombie goat.
Utilize the Gothams there.
Yeah.
More. It's not if you can afford to just make a 9 and then get rid of it. It's nice to pull something out of your hand, all you fucking Infernoble players. It's nice to be able to do stuff like that.
I think that was towards me. Look.
Yeah. you and Clayton today. But if I've got that Beast of the Pharaoh, man, Beast of the Pharaoh level 3 tuner, go into this. Because I used it for a synchro summon, that level 3 comes back.
Yeah.
Do this, that. Draw a card, he comes back. Use this, get a 9 back out there. It can be pretty crazy. It's not very reliable.
But it's nice to have.
Yeah. Vermilion, Dragon Mech, just nice to pop. There's so many tuners in this. One's bound to be in the graveyard. Even if you banish one of the virtual world tuners, doesn't matter, you'll get it back. It's nice to have a pop, 2700 attack. Cloud Castle and Ravenous
that card's
Proper Dragon. Yeah. Usually I'll go in, this will be the first thing I'll usually synchro into, get that draw, see where I'm at that point, and then go from there. And I try to get that into the graveyard with a level 3 to make this guy, the level 12.
That guy's broken.
Yes. Can't be affected by card effects, 3000 attack, as long as he's in the extra monster zone.
That's easy.
So usually I will I'll get this on field, get a level 3 tuner, synchro into this, find a way to make another level 9 tuner, or level 9 synchro, get this, get him back, then go into
calamities.
the
Yeah, very fun dragon.
the Xyz I play,
VFD.
other than Calamities, I play the Gossip Shadow. Just it's easy to get 2 level 3s on board. I will usually through all my synchroing and stuff, learning how to do combos. I will end up with 1 or 2 extra monsters that didn't synchro or anything.
Gotcha.
If they're level 3s, if I modulate them with the trap into being level 3s, I can get a Nibiru negate. I can get basically it just turns into negate that, and we both get a card. That's nice. Jinzo layered. Have not really used it much. A little bit in testing. It's nice to be able to steal their monster, even though it can't attack. You just get to attack over smaller things or directly. Actually, Thomas playing Jinzo and stuff like that reminded me that if I've got my Chuchi or something like that up on the field, I can steal their monster and then tribute that monster to pop something else they have.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Because there's a trap on field, and I didn't realize that, and I was like,
Chuchi's a trap.
I need to try to, yeah. Or funny. Imperial Order. I guess not Skill Drain. But
not Skill Drain.
So yeah, and then of course the 2 Calamities.
Dragon.
If things go a certain way, I could even put a 3rd one in and get to it pretty consistently.
That card's nuts.
And yeah, I really didn't know much about this card until I started trying to do this deck. And
it's broken.
Yeah, it's pretty. Yeah, I just.
It's a very fun dragon, isn't it?
It was very fun.
I put this guy on board, and then I had this, and I declared the Earths, and then he destroyed this, but it's lingering. So now everything that would go to the graveyard and go back into his deck would be banished instead, and then he couldn't activate any effects. So yeah, it was
nice.
It was kind of fucky. But if anything, I'm wanting to find a way to add in the second Clown Castle.
Clown Castle.
I don't know what I would take out because I like having this pop, but I'd probably go into this the least.
But that card's
It'd probably be one of these 2.
You can use it multiple times if you play 2 Cloud Castles. I think it's once per turn per copy. So if you like link the
there you go. Yeah.
exceed summon,
it's just one of those things. Actually, if anything, I would probably end up popping or taking out
probably like one of these
3,
3s.
one of these, maybe this one. These 3. I feel like I've at least used these before.
Yeah, that one's a rare one.
It's going to be super situational. So
have you learned the combo where you start with bamboozling so you can stop the Nibiru?
yeah, like you get that out there if you got the 3s and then go into other things. Just a matter if you don't have all the monsters you need. That's the thing is like when you have an opening hand, sometimes while you're learning it, it's really hard to know whether or not you've got a good opening hand.
Yeah.
Until you're halfway through your combo.
That's why you gotta learn, baby.
Shit.
That's why we have locals. We nice. We get to practice.
All that play testing online and locals.
Yeah,
is nice.
we're hashtag blessed.
Yes.
We got a locals, baby.
The side deck, pretty basic stuff. 3 Droll Lock. Just everybody's adding to their hand. I'll let you get that one, and then I'll stop it. If I don't stop it with Ash, I'll let the 1 happen, and then from there. Dinos.
We got lots of those.
Basically, that's pretty much the only reason they're there. I found in playing like Invoke Dogmatica, it's really good in the mirror.
Yeah.
But other than that, it just have to be decided like how much a deck banishes and how much you care about that. It's pretty much just in there for Dinos. Nibiru, because this deck, normally you main deck it sometimes. I prefer to side deck it if I can, get some other things in there. But if I like give them a giant token, take it out with Chuchi next turn or something like that. So like, I don't care about giving them a giant token. I don't care about whatever they would have. If they Nibiru me, I get a giant token, Chuchi their Nibiru away, and then I have the giant thing to try to use next turn. 2 Twin Twister. I main the Harpy's Feather Duster.
That's for Darren.
Yeah. I main the Harpy's Feather Duster, so I've got some trap removal. These are nice because you don't care about any of these things going into the graveyard.
Yeah.
So get one of them in the graveyard, sometimes will even help, and pop 2. So I won't run a 3rd one, because like Harpies and these, I've got 9 different cards I can pop, presumably. Yeah. And then this was supposed to be a metaverse. I had it on my thing, I forgot to change it in real life, so that if I need to, I can get into the Mystic Mine.
The guard, the broken card, bandit card! Alright, man, any shout-outs you want to give?
I like the idea of getting them, like, if I draw the metaverse, get that on there, let them...
Actually, no, metaverse is better.
Let them Madolche or Infernoble or whatever get a bunch of shit on board, and as long as they don't have a spell or trap negate, I'm set.
You're right.
And then
if this resolves, I fucking lost. I can't play no more.
And if they're gonna try to like,
I decided to make a full combo, not to break a full combo. Yeah.
And if they're gonna try to find some way to like, if this being on board is a little too hard that time, just get it in my hand for next turn if I need to. And at least at that point, even if I don't activate it, they know I've got it in hand.
Yeah.
So maybe they try to make their field a little smaller or something. I don't know.
For sure.
But yeah, if this was a metaverse, I feel like I would have seen it more. I sided it in a couple times. I only got to use it in 1 match, and I will say in that 1 match I did end up losing. But Contact Fusion doesn't give a shit about Sigma.
Cyber Dragons, baby! Gotta get in there, Cal. Cal's amazing. He's amazing.
So yeah, if anything, that'll probably change to a metaverse. And really, whenever I sided these in, I sided like 2 of this, and the 3 mines, and I went from there or something like that. I didn't. I might have sided.
I'm not letting you go first after you VFD me. I can tell you that.
Yeah.
All right.
So it's a really fun deck. It's a lot of like floodgate type things, especially like if you can get Mystic Mine to work.
Yeah.
It's probably the type of thing like I might end up taking that out depending on how the rest of the local meta goes.
Fair enough.
But yeah, I really like it. I think it's gives me kind of a headache, but the better I do with it, the more I'm gonna want to figure out how it
improving
works.
it and everything. Gotcha.
Yeah. I like finally finding a way to use Calamities, because I've had 3 copies of Calamities
Very
forever,
Dragon.
but I'm like, I don't Synchro, I don't Xyz, I'm all about Fusion Summons.
Virtual Worlds took
or
that
links.
over.
Yeah.
Darn deck.
So it's, yeah, and at some point I'll be able to put Zeus in it pretty easily.
Sure.
Gaia Thundercharger and Zeus, and I'll have like 4 or 5 materials on him from that. So yeah, I'm excited about it. Once I decided to drop the $40 on the Zeus,
Fair enough. Fair enough.
I'll be able to see exactly how that works.
All right,
But,
man. Well,
yeah.
congratulations on getting 3rd, brother.
Boom, boom.
Appreciate the deck profile. Take it easy, bro.
You too, buddy.